Gee Robin Gibb has lost his long battle with cancer, but there are plans for his memory to live on in Brisbane, his childhood home. Ursula Hager joins us now from Redcliffe's Palace Hotel, one pub that launched his career. And Ursula, there's been talk of a Gee statue.
Yes, before they were famous, they were just three kids from Redcliffe. They actually used to play regularly here at the Palace Hotel behind me when they're in their teens. And many people here in the area still remember going to school with the Bee Gees. Of course, Robin Gibb was one of them, and he was known as a bit of a character amongst people here. Now, we did see some of that character when he was in Australia on tour a year ago. He stopped by the 10 News studio to speak with one of our journalists about plans for a statue or a museum to be built in the Bee Gees' honour.
Yeah, it's very humbling that anyone even would think that. However, you must get my profile right. Having said that...
So the side you would like is?
Just here, or maybe not. I mean, that's like, well, we'll talk about that later. I'll be there for the unveiling.
There you go, there's a promise. Would there be a performance?
There might be a performance. I might even pose for the statue. But I'll keep my clothes on.
Now, those plans sadly fell by the wayside a little bit, but we have seen a renewed push today with the passing of Robin Gibb, and Premier Campbell Newman has thrown his support behind the plans.
Well, I'd prefer to see a public appeal. This has got to come from the heart. I mean, if people want to recognise the Gibb brothers in this way, that's a great thing, and we'd be very supportive. I know the two mayors.
And in just the last couple of hours, we've actually learned that the Moreton Bay Mayor will tomorrow propose a plan to name a walkway after the Bee Gees and in relation to their connection to this area. But just speaking to one of the men who discovered the boys here so many years ago, that history and that voice will live on.
Speak about the people I have seen.
He was 1/3 of the most recognisable sound of the 70s. This smash hit became an anthem for a generation of youngsters and created one of the most memorable movie scenes of all time. Robin Gibb was just 9 years old when he was discovered alongside his brothers.
He was one of the terrible twins, we used to call them, Morris and Robin. They were mischievous but incredibly creative.
DJ Bill Gates and race car driver Bill Good were the first to hear the boys playing for pennies at the Redcliffe Speedway.
I heard these melodious voices come over the PA system in the pit.
The talent was instantly recognisable. All they needed was a name.
They said, "What about the Bee Gees?" I said, "Where do you get that from?" And he said, "Well, Bill Gates, Bill Good, Barry Gibb." Oh, I said, "Oh, natural."
After making music in Australia...
Brothers, now come on, who are you? Which is which? You're twins, eh?
I'm Robin.
Robin?
Morris.
And Morris.
The band moved back to the UK, where Robin briefly left the group to embark on a solo career. It was his return that generated the Bee Gees' most memorable songs.
It's me you need to show.
In a career that spanned 5 decades.
I've seen the story, I read it over once or twice.
Alongside his brothers, he was named a commander in the Order of the British Empire.
He said he liked our music, which we thanked him for it.
But he never forgot his roots, visiting Australia just last year. A voice that will live on. Robin Gibb was 62. Now, Robin Gibb had a long battle with both liver and colon cancer. About a month ago, he actually slipped into a coma after contracting pneumonia, but he made a remarkable recovery from that. It is today that he sadly passed away. He is survived by his wife and 4 children. Bill.
Thank you, Ursula Hager, reporting from Redcliffe.